Okay, so here's the plan for the week. This week of Thanksgiving. And I'm going to give thanks to my Raptor by dialing it in. But I'm going to take my time. I'm going to make this a really long, normal, Matty, super long, boring video series. I'm going to go through step by step of the whole process. In the middle of this, I'm pulling out Decon videos. So I'm pulling out some product-specific videos talking about how to use them. So the decontamination phase will be pulled out and connected to the video series of that actual product package. But basically, what I'm going to do is completely dial the truck in, and I'm going to coat it. And it's a good time of the year to do it because the humidity's low. And so I'm going to do Kamikaze Miyabi, Kamikaze ISM. So I might even do 2 coats of Miyabi. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, the truck's big. There's lots of paint, so I'm going to have to play with that and see, how much. I have 1 bottle of it, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So the intent here is to decontaminate, to polish and correct the paint, to treat all the surfaces, all the trim. I'm not sure. I guess I'll probably treat all the trim because I don't know when I'm going to do the modifications, like pulling the front bumper off, painting all of the fender flares. I'm even looking at maybe painting the grill gloss black and the applique, or whatever you call that thing out back, the back tailgate, painting that gloss black. I was kind of walking around the car looking at it. So as I have a little more time with the truck, again, I'm going to enjoy this process, and so I'm gonna play with what makes sense. Definitely getting new wheels and tires. So the wheels and tires aren't going to get a whole heck of a lot of work. I'm going to test out using the new Polish Angel stuff I have. It's designed for wheels, so we're going to use that. Rather than removing the wheels, I'm just going to spray it on and reach in there and use that product rather than doing my normal process of removing and claying and then coating with stance, because I'm going to be getting some method wheels. So the process will involve that, dealing with everything: trim, windows, glass. I've already done the interior, just a quick wipe down. I don't do much interior detailing. I don't really have a need to do that. So I don't know that I'm going to spend a lot of time on that here in this video series, but we'll see how it goes. I think this is going to take me the better part of a week and a half. I'm going to work on it, 2-3 hours at a time instead of attempting to knock it all out in a day or two. And so I'm going to take my time and go through the process. So just to cue you in, I washed the car when I got it, removed all of the stuff. And so I've had it for, a week and a half now. So when I first got the car, I drove it for a day, and then I washed it, cleaned up the windows, got all the stickers and all that stuff, cleaned up the interior, vacuumed it out, wiped it all down with some basic leather care stuff from Ammo. Vacuumed all the carpets, set up all of the floor mats and all of that stuff. So I already did all that. I didn't video it. There's really nothing to show. I probably should have, but I just wanted to enjoy a moment with the truck rather than having to be on camera. So when I washed it, what I didn't decontaminate it. I just washed it, got all the junk off. There's still some polish that's flung all over the thing on the trim that I have to deal with here. They must have gotten out of rotary, and so I hope they didn't screw it up. But the surface, all I did was wash it with some Chemical Guide citrus wash just to strip whatever junk was on it. I sprayed some Hydro 2 on it, which I'm becoming less and less of a fan of Hydro 2. I don't know, it gets kind of slimy and runny, and it's good. It's a good product. It's good for what it is, but it's not a permanent solution by any means. It's never really designed to be a permanent solution. It's a quick spray sealant that at least got something on the paint for the last week and a half that I haven't done anything with it. I didn't think I'd be correcting it this quickly, but figure Thanksgiving week, this is a slow week. I think I only have 1 appointment tomorrow. And so I'm gonna do my best to just do a little bit at a time, enjoy the process. I have a meeting with my business coach at 3 o'clock. And so I'm going to decontaminate it today, and then I'll probably maybe tape it off tonight, and then kind of work through the process of polishing it. I have to go over to my other garage to get the lights. I left them over there, so I'll have to get that, and then we'll polish it and finish it. So anyway, I'm going to take you through this whole process. We're going to make a whole video series of decontamination in the middle of this, and we'll get the Raptor dialed in. All right, so just to bring you up to speed, again, last week I cleaned up the wheels, I cleaned up the tires, and they had writing all over it. And so what I used was a very concentrated, I diluted it about 1.5 to 1 of Shine Supply Wise Guy. I didn't have any stoners. Normally I use stoners Terminator. I need to order another can of that. But in my wheel prep process, I normally have some stoners or even use some Griot's rubber prep. Griot's rubber prep on this is kind of hard to use because the tires are so big. But I didn't denib I'd only denibbed one of the tires. I just kind of lost the energy. I just didn't want to do it. Normally I'll use a razor blade, but because there are so many of these, I'm going to use a set of small nail clippers. I'm going to just go through and I'm going to denib. But anyway, I cleaned up the tires. I went over each one of them twice, got all the writing off of them, all of the soap and all of the markings, I guess it would be the balancing markings. So I got all those taken off. And so now I'm ready to just wash them like normal. So a lot of times people will complain about, their tire shine or tire dressing. I don't like to call it shine because I don't like shiny tires, but their tire dressing, changing colors. And I think the most important part about prepping your tires is to make sure that they're clean. So I really want to prepare them. And so then I'm going to use, I don't like to use Wise Guy, although you could dilute it. I really like Adam's rubber and tire cleaner, which is part of my wheel cleaning package. But it's I like to then just maintain them, right? And so right now what I'm going to do is I'm denibbing them, cutting all these things off, which is kind of a waste of time because I intend to do different tires anyway. But now that they're treated and clean and prepared, now all I have to do is just maintain them. So I just clean them with some Adam's rubber and tire cleaner, and then depending on the conditions, if it rained or not, on whether I'll actually do whether I'll do Pearl every wash or maybe every other wash. The first time I apply Pearl, I put a crap ton of it on there. I just cake it on. And so this wash here is really going to be to remove a lot of the excess. And then I end up with a nice balance of not too much Pearl, but enough so that I don't have any yellowing or issues. And then, if I wash the truck every other week, then I maintain a nice satin finish to the tires. I hope that makes sense. So the wheels, again, I'm not going to keep these wheels. I think these wheels aren't that great looking. And so I'm going to be doing a slightly more aggressive offset. I don't understand the whole movement of your tires sticking out on your truck. I want them to be fender flush. And so I think that offset, I might be wrong, I think that offset is a +18. It's either 0 or +18. I think it's +18 is the offset you want. And so the methods on my now wife's Raptor, my Gen 1 Raptor that I still have, their methods, and they, I think they're +18, but the tire size is a little bit bigger. So I'm going to do 18. So I'm doing 325, 18, 325, 65, 18. Or these are, what are these? These are 305. Where's the thing? 315. Yeah, 315, 70, 17. So I'm going to do 325, 65, 18. And a slightly more aggressive offset so that I'm fender flush. Right? That's the plan. So what I'm going to do to these today is I'm going to wash them like normal with some Color Tech. I'm going to hit them with some iron out when I iron the rest of the paint out. And then I'm going to, obviously, I just mentioned I'm going to clean the tires. I don't know that this fingernail clipper's faster, but it's easier on my fingers, so than attempting to grab each one of these now that there's pearl on here. They'll be slippery. A lot more of these than there are on a normal car. And so the wheels, after I hit them with some iron out, when we finish them, I'm going to use the Polish Angel. I got to go look up the name of it, if it's called something. I think it's Polish Angel Super Sport, I think it's called. I'm going to have to cheat a little bit. I'm going to have to watch the esoteric video on how to use it. I don't think it's a spray on, spray off. I think it's like a, like a normal drying aid type, where I'm going to spray it on and wipe it off. So I'm going to have to figure that out. Then really I should remove the wheels, but I don't want to do that because, again, these will be short-lived. For those of you who watch my other videos, I always say that I'm going to take my time. My version of taking my time is weeks, not months or years like normal people. And I'm probably going to do the KO2, these KO2s again. I have Nitto, whatever they're, super grapplers on my Gen 1 Raptor, my 2013, and they're nice. I think these are actually a little quieter. They sound quieter to me. Now these are brand new versus my Nittos. Probably have 20,000 miles on them, 25,000 miles on them. It's time for some new tires for that too soon. But I think I'm going to do methods. A little bit different design than what I have on the others. I don't know. I don't know that there's much of an advantage, and it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of brands that make forged wheels for these things. And I guess the tires are so darn heavy that the forged option, I guess, doesn't matter as much. I mean, it's still rotating mass. Gosh, I don't think I want to do. I'm just going to do this one. We'll do these. What I'll do is I'll de-nib after every wash. So I did one tire. I did the driver's side when I washed it the first time. We'll do this passenger side this time. And then the next wash, I'll do one of the rears. And then I'll have all the nibs off by the time I'm ready to swap out the wheels and tires and have to do it all over again. So in the process of a new car prepping this, I'm generally going to treat the wheels and engine bay in the same vein. So I'm going to do the wheels, I'm going to do the engine bay, then I'm going to deal with the paint. This time of year in Florida is just absolutely amazing. I'm also going to go over to the garage when I get my lights. I'm going to jack up using my bend pack, quick jacks. I'm going to take the wheels off the GT3 RS and lower it. The rear end's good, the front end is sitting up high. We'll see how low I can go without rubbing too much. The wider wheels and tires, even with the wider fenders. I don't know that they changed the offset much on it. I think the front wheels are the same on the RS as they are on the GT3. And if that's the case, then that's probably the reason why it rubs. So I wonder if doing some aftermarket BBS would make sense. All right, so let's get our bucket out. Oops, I missed these inner ones so that I don't drive myself crazy and cut corners. We'll just do one wheel or one tire de-nibbing at every wash. Kind of break this up. Yeah, I just checked on, watched Todd's video on the application of Super Sport, Polish Angel Super Sport PTFE, and you could put it on wet, but it's not a pressure activated. It's not like Hydra 2. So we're gonna clean like normal, and then I'll come back at the end and we'll wipe it off while applying the product. What I might do is just lay under the truck later on, and I'll, the little one works better on this. So I'll lay under and then I'll wipe it in the barrel that way. just to hold me over. Yeah, the big one still works best here. On these wheels, they're so tight to the rotors that most of these brushes don't fit in here, at least not in the front. So this is one of the reasons why I've bagged using any kind of wheel woolies, as you can't get in there at all, even with this, let alone a wheel woolly. Testing out these new brushes in comparison to the race glaze, these are really great. I don't really like the solo brushes. I bought all of them, spent what, 300 bucks on them or whatever. They're really expensive, but I don't like the metal handle, the wooden / metal handle. The wood tends to get kind of mildewy. I know it's higher quality, but these new plastic versions from a guy sent these to me. I think I'm going to start offering these in the store here. So there's a stubby version, a long handle version. I think I like the long handle version. And then, so you have these synthetic. He also makes a boar's hair version versus the race glaze. They're just a lot nicer constructed. And I think after having this is good because it gets in there more. But the size of this, I think, is probably preferred after spending some time playing with it. This is the struggle I go through because I want the product packages to be perfect from the beginning. But again, I need to pick a point in time when things, whatever I'm using is good. There might be best, and I'm using better, but eventually we'll get to best. It just might take a while. So these are the non-beadlock version. After watching Joe Knows Best video, so Joe has the Raptor, and he had bead locks. He does the bead lock option, and so doing the bead locks means that changing or swapping tires. Again, I'm not going to use these tires. I'm going to do wider tires, slightly wider tires. Plus, I'm going to do 18s instead of 17s. Removing the bead locks was a big pain in the rear. Of course, the bead lock is a rim that goes around here that locks the bead in place, which makes it more difficult to change, but then ensures that your tire doesn't fly off the rim. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, truck guys, but I think bead locks are designed so that you can run lower pressures off-road, but not have to worry about your tire falling off. And I might be making that up, but I think that's what it is. Telling you, that first application of pearl, you cake it on there, and then your first wash, you get such a great satin finish. I'll put a little bit more on there, and then the tires seem to soak it in. It really works great. I don't think we need to do this because the Color Tech, I think, has the same chemical, but let's hit these with some iron out just to be safe. Yeah, I'm really only going to be able to treat the surface of these wheels anyway. Let's see if there's any noticeable iron or any noticeable change here. I doubt it, because again, the Color Tech is probably going to do the job anyway. I can see the purpling on the rotor, which you want to, I guess, avoid if you can. Yeah, it's kind of a waste of time here because I've already removed all the iron with the Color Tech. So that's why my preference is generally to use a use rather than using iron out all the time to clean your wheels, I feel like using a dedicated wheel cleaner has more lubrication, less chance of scratching. I don't obsess over scratching my wheels anyway. It's kind of hard to see, and they tend to be more durable, at least from my experience. Powder coated wheels. And then like my GT3 RS or my previous GT3 is powder or is satin anyway. So I understand the concept of filling the bucket with soap, treating it just like the paint, but again, I've gotten by with my method for a long time. Yeah, I don't see any noticeable iron. So So I'm going to repeat this procedure to the other 3 wheels and tires, clean up under the fender well like I just did, and then we'll come back and we'll work on the engine bay. That'll be our next step. So I'll get cranking on that. I love the idea. Good thing I had Adam LZ over here not too long ago closing the doors. It makes it a little quieter. One other thing to note, if you are, I know a lot of you guys have been dreaming of building something similar, doing a boom pole, or even just doing an on-wall high-end pressure washer. We're drywalling my new garage facility, my new leased facility, so the owner's going to drywall it up. So I haven't gone over there and started setting that up yet, but I have figured out a solution for the lower end, or I guess the on-wall version of the 1622. But if you want a high-end version, the 165 STS like I have, the one with a beautiful stainless bevel and everything, they stopped making those. So the new version is coming out. It's called the K205T or K205S TST. Total stop, so that it stops at 30 seconds like this. It's a good $1,000 less at around $3,600, but it doesn't have the pretty stainless shroud. Same pump, same configuration. So I'm going to be dealing with that here soon. They're also not going to make a 165. They're only going to make the 205, which will be 2,400 PSI, 3.3 gallons per minute. So I'll be offering that to those who want a high-end custom solution. I have people reach out to me every day if you want something like what I'm doing and you want me to design it for you. I've gotten pretty good at doing that, so I can source everything for you. So just keep that in mind. Just shoot me an email, Matt@ObsessedGarage. We can build this system. I'm a dealer for all of these major companies, and they're really confusing to figure out. And if you call them, they don't get what we're talking about. And most companies that deal in this stuff are only doing they're not doing dedicated wash bays like we are. They're doing commercial car washing, quarter car washes and things like that. So I've kind of found a little niche where I can help people build these things, and it helps me because I turn a profit on it. I mean, you're going to have to pay it anyway, and it helps you in that we can design it together, and it doesn't cost anything to do that specifically. So anyway, I'm going to go around, work on this, and then we'll come back when it's time to do the engine bay. One thing I'm doing for the rear to get up under here, I'm spraying my next set wheel cleaner up into the fender well. And then I think I'm gonna hit this with Hydro 2 after I just talk trash on it. Or you know what I'll probably do? I'll probably use the same stuff I use on the wheels. So the Super Sport. I just wanted to share this process as well. Again, the wheels are not super dirty, so I'm able to spray it on there and just get working, just get moving. One little trick with the Easy Detail is to sit off to the side so that it doesn't fling all over you as you pull it out. Well, I guess one good part about these wheels is they are pretty easy to clean. The bad part is they're kind of ugly. I'll just use my sponge, get up under here, clean this just like I would the wheel. The other thing you could use here is like an APC if you really wanted to. shocks. And we're clean. Yeah, I think I've got a whole, I don't know how tall, but roughly 40-inch by 20 by 20 box filled with bottles and sprayers from all over the place. Any company I could possibly think of, anything that anybody suggested. And I think I'm gonna have to, for now, until I can spend whatever amount it costs, which I think is gonna be extremely expensive, to have my own bottles designed. I think these are gonna have to be the one. The other thing I really want is I want a squeezable bottle for my soap. So I want an Nalgene bottle for that. So I think once I get through Decon, basically once I get through all of my packages, then I can start to focus on the bottle. Then we can go back through and make amendments to the packages as necessary. All right, so there's the wheels. Because what happens when the force pulls you back, your foot naturally comes off the gas. You have to keep your foot to the floor, foot to the floor.